Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about energy. I was talking to somebody at work last night and we were talking and something got on the subject of energy. So I wanted to talk about that today. So let's jump in. First I want to say this. I don't know if you ever had these caramel. These things are awesome. And when I get done, I'm going to eat another one before I go home. But you got to get you some. I hope I'm allowed to do that. Anyway, energy. Energy is everything. It has a lot to, it's not everything, but it has a lot to do with, I'll say this, energy. Why I said energy is everything, some people might take that the wrong way, so I don't want to say it like that. Because a lot of people don't believe in God and Christ, and I do. So I don't want to sidetrack anybody. So my opinion is vibing high is knowing the Lord. And as you know him greater, your vibration or your aura will start to protrude. Because you're starting to walk in more purity, more authenticity. You're laying aside the things of the world. And when you lay the things aside that are of the world, that's like saying everything that we see and can touch and feel and smell and look at, they just don't mean as much, because what you really take more of a serious thought to is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and implementing that into your life. Trying to understand more about God's creation, how it works, and some of hidden things sometimes that we should know that have been blocked and held back from us, so that we just have this cookie cutter lifestyle that the Matrix, that's what we always say, the Matrix. Don't get it twisted. You know, the Matrix means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but generally speaking, the Matrix is what has been built on God's earth and caused us to get funneled into cookie cutter lifestyles. And we think that's it, that's all there is, or we accept that. We accept and get comfortable in that setting. And because the cattle drive out there is accepting of it, and they're brainwashing you everywhere on TVs and medias and phones and billboards and speakers and music, videos, that we just accept it too. You go to work 40 hours a week. In fact, a just individual today is known for working hard or working 40 hours a week if they can keep a family together and maybe go to church once in a while. Really, go to the mall, buy some clothes, and that's it, man. Have a few barbecues, sit on the couch. And that's what they have funneled us into doing. And if you work real hard, you work extra, you can maybe get a new car. Maybe you can get a bigger home. Then put your kids through college. And if they can excel in sports or in music, that's amazing. That means that you're an extra awesome, good individual. But really, it's not. Those are all of the pieces that would fit into this. If you are a good individual, all those things could and should probably come to fruition, but not necessarily. There's a lot of amazing people that probably don't have too much, and they're okay with that though. And that's because they're not concerned about things. Because what's more elevated in their life is the things of the spirit, of knowing the Lord and how he can work in a mighty way and be more fulfilling in the spirit realm than anything could ever be in this physical, in this matrix. But, you know, there's a lot of different things on this matrix we live on. We have what we see here today, all the buildings and structures and blacktop, and then we also have what might be under it. Maybe the civilization before, or the generations that came before, that we know nothing about. And if we were to go back 1,000 years, we would find that probably 95% of the history that we've been taught is a lie. If you do your research, you will agree with me. A lot of stuff has been fabricated, and a lot of it is because, in my humble opinion, the biblical narrative that they say we are living in, we are not. We are past that period of time. And I do have more information on that if you want to go to my channel, Revelation N505. I wasn't really trying to commercialize that on this channel. I do once in a while, but generally it's sometimes like it's not on purpose. But the more I get into that topic on this channel, it just kind of causes a bunch of problems. But my point is, there's a lot of things that we think we know all about because we're living in today's generation, and we think we're the smartest people ever. We think we're the most genetically savvy. We're the best architects. We're the best physicians. We are the best scientists, engineers, and chemists, astrophysicists, all that. But truly and wholeheartedly, we probably are not. We're not. Because a lot of the stuff that we are seeking in technology is from the ancient of days, the ancient of times. They just don't want you to know about it. A lot of times they call it fallen angel technology, and it's from a time period in and around Genesis 6. Technology that came or was created through fallen angel technology that was highly advanced. The ability to cut with lasers, to vitrify rough stones into glass, and to levitate 500-ton stones into place on the tops of mountains, y'all. And the only thing that could move something that large out of place, outside of levitating it, like Machu Picchu, would be large amounts of water. So there's a lot of proof of Noah and the flood. There's so much proof of it. But that one piece right there is huge. And I wanted to talk about energy, and I guess that's somewhat related, because that in antiquity, they had the ability to levitate. They even had things like Vinmanas, which were like flying thrones and things. There's all kinds of different things that were back in the ancient of days that we just do not have today. And we are not genetically more savvy. We are not evolving, we're devolving. If we all came from Adam and Eve, and we've been splicing and cutting ever since then, we are not evolving. We're getting weaker and weaker with each generation that we see. But my point is, a lot of people don't understand energy, and when you wake up to narcissism, you will start to have to wake up to this is to energy is a big piece of it, controlling your energy. Because you can't accept energy that's not yours. And that's what the narcissist does. That's the primary thing a narcissist does. That's why you'll find a lot of narcissists are, I would say all, but are pretty much witches and warlocks, or have some sort of the root of that. Because if you're housing dark energy, and if you are a believer of that concept, then where did dark energy come from, or what did it teach us? It taught us everything to do with witchcraft. So they are, you know, being controlled by witchcraft, and then they control you by using witchcraft, because it's the thing in them that's controlling you. It's not them at all. They are the biggest puppet of everybody in the situation dealing with the narcissist. When you deal with the narcissist and then you leave them, you heal up, and you're healing in your healing process, a lot of times you will feel really down and out. Not only because you were betrayed, like Judas, I mean, really horribly. And that's what brings you into the dark night of the soul. See, the narcissist doesn't feel love, so they don't give a damn about you. They don't care about you, and they don't care what they done to you or what they're going to do to you tomorrow. They're only speaking words, always. There's nothing behind it. There's no enthusiasm. There's no power. There's no passion. There's no fruit. There's no love. There's no joy. There's no blessing. It's all evil curses. And when they move their mouth, they're always lying. And they will do anything to switch energy with you. So you can't heal from narcissism and not address this energy situation. Because when you were groomed as a child by the narcissist hierarchy in your family unit, your caregiver, whoever, they groomed you to accept all of their negative energy. And when you accept other people's energy that's not yours, or you're unaware of what's yours and what's not yours, or you haven't even addressed the fact that it's energy at all. You might call it feelings, but it's energy, and you can revoke it, and you can learn to control it. You have to hone it and house your own correctly. You have to control your aura, and it is like a force field around you. And when negative energy comes at you and it tries to attack you, it attacks you by accusing. See, Christ used to talk about the accuser of the brethren. And that's exactly what the narcissist is. He was defining them. They are the biggest accuser of the brethren. They're exactly the seed line, bloodline, the attitude of Satan. There's no, there's people that do evil things. I've done evil things, you've done evil things, and that's that, right? But before you wake up to narcissism and exactly how they're thinking, what they're trying to do, and the evil deeds that they are incurring on people on purpose, you start to realize that they are the epitome of evil. And the epitome of evil is Satan, the Satan of the Bible. People that do evil things, they feel horrible about it. And they will request and apologize and ask for forgiveness. Or they'll get caught in their mess and they will feel horrible and repent for it. And that's what we've done. But the narcissist doesn't do that. They will just double down and triple down and quadruple down on anything that they get caught up in. And they don't care. Because when you don't feel love, you are nothing. In the Lord's kingdom, you're nothing. You are an object at that point. I mean, really, just like what they call us is really what they become. Well, I shouldn't say that, but they really are. They have no fruit. You're kind of worthless. I mean, really. And the thing is, it's not like this is something that was forced upon them and there's nothing they could have done. No, they chose this. This is what they wanted. This is what they were drawn to. This is what they went in covenant with. And this is what they were lazy to do anything more than to be out to destroy. Over time, they end up liking it and loving it, and they can't live without it. They will tell you good words, but they're always lying. There's nothing good behind those words. It's always evil. It's always a manipulation. It's always a persuasion. It's always on a covert, insidious level that is malignant. And it will spread throughout your house, your home, your job, any fortress that you have. It doesn't matter. It'll go through the walls. Because if you don't have the correct personal boundaries up, it will affect everything. And that's always to come because you don't love yourself enough to respect yourself. And you're sacrificing yourself for evildoers in hopes that they're going to love you back and give you the correct treatment, only to find that it never occurs. And energy is just something that you have to hone, and it takes a while. It could take several years to really understand it. But when somebody comes at you and tries to accuse you of something, don't accept it if you didn't do it. Now, if you did do it, you probably need to accept it rightfully and apologize. That's kind of like how you get forgiveness. And we need to be honest, just individuals. But we also need to be assertive sometimes, a lot of times. And we have to love ourselves and give ourselves time of healing, of comfort, and let go of some of the idiosyncrasies that we feel like we have to be perfect. Part of the reason the narcissist feels the way they do is because they are into this perfection thing that comes with that negative energy that they're dealing with. Because the negative energy knows that nobody on this earth could ever be perfect. Only Christ was. So that's a fallacy. It's okay to search in the direction of perfection, but to think that you're always going to be able to grasp it or you're going to be a failure is never the case. That's never a good way of thinking. You're always going to fail. I mean, you know, that's not a healthy way of thinking. Progression is a good way of looking at things sometimes. And progression with your eyes set on a model of perfection is okay, but you can't be hard on yourself to the point that everything's either perfect or no good. And that's how the narcissist is built. It's either you're great or you're evil and terrible and horrible. So that's part of the control that the enemy uses in, you know, puppeteering them. But we feel like we are such idiots sometimes when we get out of these relationships with the narcissist. How did I allow that? After all the smoke clears and they destroyed you and you're coming into recovery, you're starting to heal and love yourself. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're just going to become another toxic enabler for somebody else. But these are things that run through your mind. But you got to know, however much you were being puppeteered by the narcissist and the demon controlling them, they are puppeteered by that demon 24 hours a day. So at least you still have your birthright to where they have given theirs up. And they try to come and take yours. And that's where I have a problem, because God gave us all sovereignty. He gave us all independence and the ability to run our own birthright and to make our own decisions. And I don't think anybody should control people. Nobody should. That's a dictatorship. Nobody likes to live in a dictatorship. And it's just never proper without counsel around, without checks and balances from many different departments. If we all ran like that, this world would be destroyed already, because no one person can have that much power without having checks and balances in different departments to keep it in line. But in controlling energy, you're going to screw up. You're going to get reactive, but you're going to see it for what it is. And it's going to pain you in the very beginning, because you're going to feel like a failure. Why did I just do that? Or why did I just let that individual get me ticked off enough to where I reacted? But you also will find through that you'll find your balance, and you'll start to understand what energy is yours and what's not. And if it's not yours, you don't accept it, and you will learn to do that. You'll separate the two, what's yours and what's not. What you should accept and what you shouldn't if it's your fault. The being corrected. Well, the narcissist is always doing evil, and they always want to force all of their incorrect evil deeds on everybody else as if they'd done it to them. And that's why they really like the empath, because they're already primed and ready to go, because they were groomed their whole life to be people pleasers, to accept everybody else's negative energy, and to live in an inferiority complex to get abused, used, and misused. And to give all of your fruit up to the dictator of the household and become their trash can. And that's not fair, it's not appropriate, and it's not right. The narcissist runs in all ego, and they run in all ego because ego is what protects the childhood injuries. And they are so fixated on protecting everything true about them that they lie all the time. So their whole life is ego. They're very egocentric, arrogant, lying, manipulative individuals. And when you operate in ego, when you're in the healing process or when you were with the narcissist, that's what got you in all that trouble you got into with them. Because if you would have been authentic with yourself and with them, you would have denied them and you wouldn't have given them any fuel. Because you wouldn't have felt like you had to. You wouldn't have felt like you needed to act any different, but just be. You don't have to act, you just be you. And if people don't like it, then they can leave. If you don't like them, you can leave. If they're not appropriate for you or they're evil to you, then you leave. And you own up to that and you live by it. So that's kind of a little bit about how energy can work, and it works to where it opens up all of your boundaries when you sleep with someone. I mean, they could project into you, and they're doing something very different when you're sleeping with a narcissist than what you think it is. And they're very robotic because they don't feel love. So things will look and seem somewhat unnatural because they don't feel love. So it's kind of everything they do is an act. And that's why people feel like they're like artificial intelligence, and I agree. But they're not just artificial intelligence, but they're terminators of goodness. They annihilate goodness. So be careful out there. Hone your energy and build boundaries. Don't accept what's not yours. Love yourself and watch your covenants, consents, and your contracts. And be accountable for those covenants, contracts, and consents that you put yourself into. Stand behind them. Because if you can't stand behind them, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. And never try to find the easy way out, because the easy way out is always the evil way out. So thank you for watching. If you can give me a like, subscription, and thumbs up. Just know that anytime you see ego in anybody, including yourself, coming out, that's you trying to cover up an unhealed childhood wound, because you're trying to put forth somebody you're not, an imitation of what you want people to think you are. An impression that's not really you. It's a put on, it's an act. It's not you being, it's you acting. So have a great day, a glorious day, because you can, and the narcissist will never, because they don't feel what we feel. Till next time, Soul Jump, peace, we out.